This conference will now be recorded.
Good morning, everyone. We're gonna start today networking. Just let me know if you hear any difficulties. My voice. Let me know. Who is attending here? Let me see. Okay. Today's class. Yes. So give me 1 minute. Yep. It's gonna start now, right? Yeah. Yep. So just expand it. Then you can see. So okay, let's get started the networking. So normally as a tester, when you work, it is helping you to get the information about like how the office network is working, like where we are working as a team, but definitely this is not the target. You are going to be a system engineer or network engineer, but the point is when the team is working something about the network or network issue, and then when they talk about, then you are aware of that what is the issue going on our project, because network is important area. Without network, no office or anywhere any office is not running. They have different role for that. System admin or network engineer is working on it, but sometimes we may need to do it networking. Suppose maybe you need to connect with the server, or maybe you need to connect with the virtual machine to access some application or maybe some files. Maybe your manager will say, okay, can you go to that server and then get the file from there. And then how you can connect from your host machine or your workstation or from your laptop to connect your server. And then you get that information, and then you need to get information about like how network is working. Suppose if you are working on if just give me 1 second, why is not connecting. Let me see. Everybody see my screen? First of all, can you write down yes on the chat box who is not seeing anything? Just make sure, because somebody is complaining they are not able to see it. Give me 1 minute. One second. I can see it from there. Mouse. If we have this mouse here, we can use it. Maybe you can log in. Or you can use this machine if you have no issues. I'll put it. Let's see. This is the ID. Everybody got that ID, right? Um, okay. Sorry about that. Sorry for some technical difficulties. Someone is complaining they can see the screen. So I hope now everything is fine. Who are not seeing my screen, or maybe some issues on your desktop or laptop, just go to meeting and then enter the meeting ID. You will see. So okay, let's get started. So here the basic networking course for beginners. So this is the course about how network is working at the office. This will give you the picture like how network is involved in our office, and then what is the component we need, what is called, and then how we can get connection from server to client or client to server. So let's get started. uh, Basically, first of all, what is the computer network? So it is the interconnection of multiple devices, generally termed as a host, connected using multiple paths for the purpose of sending or receiving data or media. So it's overall like with whatever the device we have, maybe you have multiple printer, and then it is shared by all machines, maybe fax machine, or all hosts connecting to each other, and then server is maintaining. Suppose like it could be defined application that is server side application for testing as well, like a lot of bug tracking tools, or ALM or QC or Rally. They're using server side application. Sometimes they are using their server for their application, other application as well. Definitely for the database, they have a totally different server for database. But maybe we don't need to connect for that application to the server, I'm saying, directly. But sometimes in the company when you work, you may need to connect with your virtual machine for testing purpose. Suppose test bed is not ready. What is the test bed? Is suppose required application correct version is, suppose on your machine you have Windows 7, maybe something you need to testing on Windows 10, or maybe multiple browser. That time you may need to use that machine virtual wise to connect those. So that time we need to get some information about the network. Let's get deep into so how network architecture is working. So there is the two or most widely used network architecture are peer-to-peer. That's mean client and server, or client to client. It is called peer-to-peer. You already knows, maybe you are aware of some people about the torrents. There is a lot of torrent site, download site we are using here, even though a lot of purpose we are using. That is also peer-to-peer network. So peer-to-peer network is the tasks are allocated among all members to the network. So there is no real hierarchy among the computers. That means all are equal. So when we share the file, and then we know the cedars and leeches is there, you already knows if you are using. If you are not ever, it's okay. And just get the knowledge, like peer-to-peer means there is no server and client relation. It is like all are same. Suppose like we are four member of people are here working, and then all are connecting with the cable, with the switch box. There is no server is there. So and then we can share the file each other, and then it is connected. So that is kinds of peer-to-peer network. So what is called client and server network? A number of network client or workstation request resource or service from the network. One or more network server manage or provide those resource and service. The client or computer that or depend on the server for the data or software. Network server are also referred as a computer server, simply servers. Sometimes a server is described in terms of the specific service is provided, such as file server, printer server, storage server, some other defect tracking tools or ALM server. A lot of server when you working at your office, then you will heard about that. Anybody's
Yeah,
saying something? Any question?
Anyone mute the
I
mute it,
admitted
mute
it.
it.
Yeah, some background noise is coming. Maybe some. Let's see. Okay. Now it's fine. So if using your speaker nearby, just you can mute it. Or from online, they can use their speaker. But sometimes we are working in the same place, same room, and then if you are using guys the speaker, then it may create noise. So okay, let's get started again. So and then we have a picture like we might have multiple different types of server when you heard about when you working on, and then you definitely you are not maintenance those, they have defined roles, but you are you have a sound knowledge, and then you have a idea what is the server and then what server is working for what, something like that. Servers are typically computer is more processing speed, memory, hard disk than a regular desktop computer. Suppose because server is we have a picture also. If you are going to they have a, it could be a desktop type, a tower, or it could be a different flat. It's a big machine. It's look like, but why is it is called server? Is already is mentioning. It's more processor. Suppose right now everywhere is a 8-core processor on the laptop. Suppose maybe they have a 8-core processor, or we have terabyte. Maybe they have a 16 terabyte or 32 terabyte or 64 terabyte memory is there. So it has more more hard disk. It could be more memory. Suppose 32 gigabyte or 64 gigabyte RAM is there. So those are my memory for the server, because it is more powerful. Because why? Because it's need to calculate more stuff. Suppose like if we have a table, we have a 4 chair, and then at a time we can serve 4 people. If we have 8 chair table, and then we can serve at a time 8 people. If we have 32 and big table, when previously very old time, the king or maybe some bacha is working for that, and then they're working at a time, they have a lot of people, and then they serve. So because they have a capacity more at a time, they can serve more people. So for that reason, like also server is also more powerful, and then it has different operating system. Because regular operating system is one regular, and then server side operating system is different, like Microsoft or Linux server. It is very popular also, Linux server, Linux operating system based on the server side. Because why they're using? Because there is lot of functionality, it is not available for regular application operating system. Server you can manage it. Something some picture, right? What is the server, what is the client, right? So and then how it is working. There are a lot of devices involved. So here, did you see the network device? This router already we know, and then sometimes you have a modem and router. Nowadays, modem router is built in same device, but it is integrated. And what is hub? One is bridge, one is wireless router. Regular router is there. Wireless router is also there. Switch box is there. What is the switch box? We'll know. And wireless bridge is there. Deep into it, how it is connected, how it is connected each other, and then there is a different diagram or network topology we use in the network. So for example, such as it has bus topology, star topology, mesh, ring, daisy chain, like that. So this is the picture. Suppose when we have a one connect to it's like a bar. And then what is the star? Star is one is server side is there, or maybe one bus, one device is common, and then from device to device is connecting each other. It is called star. And then some other is come to the one cable to another cable to you can directly connect you cannot direct connect with the other one because it is ring, but on the star you can connect is working and then how it is working onto each other. And then it could be any machine. You saw the blue one. Any machine, it could be a server side, and then a server will manage to each other. So that is the tree network topology. Like the difference. We already heard that, like hub and switch and router. So they have some modems. When you working on network or at office, maybe they will give you, oh, this is your switch box, you can connect, or this is your router, or this is your hub, or this is your modem, you can connect. You have a RJ45 cable and then RJ45 port, but all are keyword. If you are not familiar with, then you will be lost, and then you will find out, oh, you are not getting into because you are not aware of this. So those the thing. That's why our target is we are getting into familiar how it is working, and then what device is working what. So Ethernet hub, switch, and router all are device that let you connect one more computer to other computer network device. So what is the picture is here? You're already familiar. You a lot of people see it. There is if you have a hub or on the router on the back side, you may have minimum 5 port. One is for your network connection. One port you use, and another 4 port you can connect with your device. Different types of device. If you have a wireless, then it's fine. But if you have a desktop or printer or some other device, if you are need to connect directly, then you can connect with using that device, or you can connect with another modem to access your trying to play game, and then a network Wi-Fi is not good enough. You want to connect each other and then play the game, make fun like that. But the ultimate goal is, this is the port you are seeing, red and yellow. Is the header of the port, the cable when it's connected. On the yellow on the corner, that is the port we need to connect. So this is Ethernet port. Also they also saying 45 pin 8 pin is there, and then through the 8 pin all data got passed. That is the we got it. What is how it is working. See, the if some message is coming, you have a hub. So hub means it is only connect, it has only port, and then it is shareable. So how hub is working, let's see. Suppose one message is coming from outside, and then it's sent to the hub, and it is connecting 3 computer A, B, C through the hub. And then when the messages come, it is message only for computer A. But you saw it, if message come from A, but to send out to other port, regardless which one is A, he should get, right? But hub will send to all, because hub doesn't know who is computer A. He knows only which is connected. Okay, he has a four port, or maybe 4 port is there using one for another computer, and then all 3 are connected. When you are connected, and then he doesn't know who is A, B, C, because he doesn't have information. He knows only all are through the cable it is connected. He has one connection. There is no security. He send the response, will get the request, oh, this is message for this, but response is suppose like only response for A. It is response also goes out to every other port to the hub. When they send out, you see here the message for computer A, it's sending, and message for computer A, it is sending all. Suppose like A got message, oh, this is message for A. B got information, this is message for A, and C also got same message, oh, this is message for A, and then they already knows he is not A. B already knows he's not A. C already knows he's not A. So A knows this is message for him only, and then he responds. So when he responds, and then everybody also get the response as well, and then B got, oh, okay, A already responded, B already responded. Suppose like when we open class, when we have, and then if a teacher asks anyone, okay, give me the answer, and then when we heard that, everybody we heard, but we already knows it is not for me, but we already listen. So that's the way it is listening. Everything, it is like public, so everything is listen so request and response everybody knows, but definitely response should come from A, because the request is going to A. So it is look like the hub. So sometimes they have a 2 ports, sometimes they may have 4 or 5 ports. So this is the D-Link device, this is the another device, this is also called repeater. So repeater also working as a hub, because they are, when they're connecting each other, they are transmitting all information through the all connected computer. They are not verifying anything or anywhere. So request and response will get each and every computer who are connected through the hub. There is the so switch has multiple types of device. Suppose when you buy a switch, you can buy 16 port switch or 32 port switch or 64 port switch. It is depends on company to company. Depends on, suppose when you work home network, definitely we are not gonna buy for 64 or 32. Maybe for home or office they will buy it, and then they are well organized to cabling on it, because we don't care about, but we need to know. And then switch does essentially what hub does, is already mentioned it here, but more efficient. How? By paying attention to the traffic that comes across it, learn where particular address are. Essentially, initially it is saying like a switch knows nothing and simple send to income access to all. It is also sending all requests like a hub. Difference is even accepting the first message. However, the switch has learned something, because he, after receiving the message, he knows who is A. And the next time when I send to something through the switch, you see, because the with the switch, but when the message will come for A and A reply back to the response, second time request come to request sent to A, he knows the MAC address or IP address somehow will go through later, but somehow he has identification that this is the A, this port is using A. Suppose like we have a 4 port, number 1 port is using by A, number 2 port is using B, number 3 port is C, and then second time when he communicate is going to be faster, because he already knows A is working for port 1, because he has a knowledge, he is adaptive, because he already sent the request first time to all, and then one computer A responds back, and then he knows which port is using A. The second time when request come through the port, and then it is going so on. Suppose anything is going for C, and then he already knows which port is what. In the meantime, if you switch back or move or take it out the cable from the switch and then put it back to another port, then it's going to be mismatch. But when the again it will run, and then it will adapt it. So the point is, switch and hub always, they have no brain, but switch has little brain. He has a adaptive knowledge, like first time when he sent to all, and then when he responds back, and then he track it who is responding and then which port he is using, and then second time when he send it, he is using that port only, and then request sent only that guy. or that computer. Clear? Okay. That is the communication. If you need anything, you can buy. If you don't need, it's fine. But at least you know what is hub and anybody has question. Okay. So another one we have a more smarter. This is router. We already know here. Yeah, on the picture it is look a sample router is link 6 router, and then they have a HDMI port is there, SATA 3 USB port, and there is a USB 3 port is there. It's a very new one, so look like. And then they have a on and off power and reset button, and then they have 4 port for sharing, and then 1 port for internet. And then they have a 4 network tower for frequency. Frequency is like they have a frequency for 2.4 gigahertz, and it could be a 5 gigahertz. This is radio frequency. So they are sending. Sometimes router is sending both. Sometimes it's not. Depends on router to router. How advanced router you have at your office or at your home. Let's get is the router. What is the difference between? So it is the smartest or most complicated of the bunch. Router come all shape or all size. For the small or 4 port or broadband router that are very popular right now, or large industry strength device that are drive in the network itself. A simply way to think a router as a computer that can be programmed to understand possible, manipulate, and route the data that is being asked to handle. Many routers today are in fact little computer dedicated to the task for routing traffic. So as far as simply traffic routing is concerned, a router operates exactly as switch. Learn the location of the computers on its connection, routing traffic only those computers. So it is working same as it is like a switch, but we'll see what is the additional important things they do. Consume get routes, perform at minimum 2 additional and important DHCP, dynamic host configuration protocol. It's important. We'll deep into it. It is very dynamic IP address are assigned. A device asks for the IP address to be assigned to it from upstream, and DHCP server responds with IP address assigned. A router connected to your ISP provider. So ISP provider is like here is internet service provider. So that internet service provider, when we at the New York, you already knows there is a lot of service provider we have. Suppose like AT&T, so lot of service, Quantum, or lot of internet connection, and then it is connected onto our service. But they are dedicated. They are giving us the IP address for using our network, because they are dedicated, give it the one IP address, but we may use multiple, like on our office, or using everybody device, and then we are connected through the Wi-Fi. And then suppose your 20 guest came, everybody got connected, and then suddenly they goes next day it all got free, right? So at a time it's got multiple devices got connected through the router. How they handle those? Because everybody has the IP address. Otherwise, without IP address, it cannot be connected through the network. So what's happened is, suppose we have 4 port, right? So if you use switchbox or hub, and then what happens is you have a 8 port or 16 port is dedicated. But if you have a 20 people when they come, they cannot assign 20 IP address, because it is not available 20 port. But through the Wi-Fi it is possible, because why? They are using dynamic host protocol. That dynamic host protocol with reassigned. Suppose when you have a device connected, like suppose think about 8 devices connected, and then if you are turn off your device. Everybody is turn off. When they turn on again, then dynamic host protocol assign the new IP address. Suppose we have 192.168.1.10, and then when we shut down, we'll know what is the IP address later. And then later we'll see we don't have the same IP address. It got changed. That is the working. That is the handled by DHCP. That is the router main functionality. They are adaptive, but also it is not dedicated. Suppose what happens is on the switch. Suppose you are using those port, and then after a device, when your guest came, they could not able to connect because all port, all IP address being used already, because it is not get released. Suppose same thing on your telephone line. Suppose you have a 8 phone set, you have, right? You are using 8 people is working there. They're talking for customer service or somehow, and then when they engage, and then the another person, when they are trying to call that service, and then they will say, wait, all service is busy, all survey customer care is busy right now. When they will free, they will connect, right? Then when they hang up some customer, and then they got release, and then the second one, which one is on the queue on the list, and then they got connected, which one which uh, uh, who are working on it, and then he just hang up, and then he got released. Same way on the network also, because it is important. If you are not releasing, and then your new device, you could not able to connect, because it the brain on the switch, they already knows, oh, this port was assigned to the device, but you are not using anymore. You have a more device. You may suppose you are changing your laptop, or maybe your laptop is got broken. Then what happens? It's already, it has an IP MAC address. It is already has brain, because you are using the same port. So from that port, if you are connecting with the another computer, then it will say it is not network is not connected, because it is got confused. Previously it was defined IP address, and then now it should be another one, because they don't have brain that much, so they are not dynamically changing. That is the router is working on it. So let's deep into, we have a more picture, maybe verbally I'm saying this. That's why a lot of keywords is coming. What is the IP address, what is the MAC, how it is configured, how you find out, and then how network is like that. So this is our IP service provider. Suppose what is called Optimum, or Spectrum, or Verizon, anywhere, right? Then they give us the company, give us the router, and when they when they put the router, then they assign the IP address. So what is the IP address? This is dedicated. Suppose when we get the mobile phone, and then we get the SIM card, and then based on the SIM card, we have a dedicated number that is unique, because all over the America, anybody doesn't have that number, that for sure, because otherwise when you call, it will go to multiple people. Oh, hello, this is Russell, another one. Oh, no, this is Sajid. What are you talking about? Whom I'm talking to, we don't know. So that should not be like that. So that is unique. So IP address is like that. IP address is like a phone address, so it is unique. So a service provider knows when you are working on it, and then they have a dedicated number. So who are handling those, it is defined chapter. We are not aware of that, but internet service provider has to pay for that. That's why we are paying for their service too, because when they're assigned to, suppose every month we are paying for the mobile service, for our phone service, right? We have a number, and then anything, if you are using mobile, definitely you have a number, and then for that number you have a provider, and then for that provider you are paying for that. So same things for the IP address. When you have a router, and then router give you the dedicated number on it, and then that dedicated number we are paying, suppose like every month $100, but they're paying for other companies who are assigned to, maybe some other, this is their business, they're paying for that, but every IP address is paying for that. So right now it is IP4 version is going on. Recently you will see IP46 is there, because why? Mostly they are saying like, when that IP4 came in, why it is saying IP4, there is like 192, 168, 1, and separated by dot. So 192.168.1.1. How you find out? And then if you write ipconf, and then when you enter here, this is this on on the network here, whatever I am using. This is my local network. So there is 192.168.156.1. So there is the four types of number 255. So this is the 8-bit. Each 8-bit we can maximum assigned 256 number. So it is starting from 0 to 255. So that is 8-bit. This is second 8-bit. This is another one. So altogether is 32-bit. But maybe you are not aware of that. But you see here wireless LAN. Wireless LAN has whatever I am connecting here. This is my network connection from the router. I got it. But this is my this is the another connection for my DNS. So we will go through what is the difference between. So that is the IP address. There is the two IP addresses here, but you have the adapter or network adapter is defined. Wireless LAN adapter like a router, or Ethernet adapter, there is another one. So there is multiple devices there. So wireless device is there, and LAN port is there. So that's why we have two connection. One is for wireless, another one is for LAN. And it's not connected, so that's why it is showing this. But we have wireless connection. You may have also wireless connection. You can see under the wireless LAN you have a defined number. If you have a multiple device, you may see first 3 digit is going to be static, and then is going to be changed, because this is the way it should be, because you are paying for that. You cannot connect more than 255 device or 254, actually 254 device at your office. Because why? Because the last one, the one is called or another one is called default network. How you can go by app IP config, and you can put from DOS command, you can put space/all. Then when you put, you see we have more information than before. We have lot of information. How you find out? This is our started with what is default gateway. We'll go through. Don't get lost, don't get scared. Oh, what is the number? How you find out? Or blah blah blah. Not like that. It is we'll go through one by one. A lot of things is you see is a lot of numbers, but definitely that is the another number is physical. It is called MAC address. Every device who is connected through the network, every device has physical address. Suppose like everybody we already knows, when we use iPhone or Android phone, they have a defined IMEI number. It is unique number. When we do it with network, and then we need to connect with the IMEI number, right? These kinds of MAC address also, they have a MAC address. If you are connecting without MAC address, you cannot connect, because that is the unique. All device, all network device or in the world, it is unique. It should be unique, because manufacturer company is making like that. Otherwise network should not be work. Because whatever IP address, suppose like I have a phone number right now, I could have multiple device, right? So my current phone is got broken, I will buy another device. But in the meantime I can keep it my same number. How it is possible? How they're connecting? Because the MAC address is defined. Whatever the MAC address I'm using right now, the new device has new MAC address. In the world, every device which one is network connected, not only the computer, not only the IP tab or any other device, which one is network wireless or anything LAN port, they have a different physical address. That is by manufacturing company coming through, and then it has eight portion alphanumerical. It is called alphanumerical is like hexadecimal. Now, what is the hexadecimal? Hexadecimal is always is coming through that number. Suppose like hexadecimal. So it is called hexadecimal. hexadecimal number. So hexadecimal number is starting with from 0 to 9 and A to F. Why? Because this is the 10 digit and then there one is 5 digit. So all together is 15 digit here. And then it has a combination. So when you see this types of combination here, you will not see anything after F. You see here is E. Like actually 6 actually or whatever. A, B, C, D, E, F. So actually 6. I'm sorry about that. This is 16 digit. So there is 0 to 9 and A to F. So that here you will see here is all are combination of, there is a 2 digit separated by dash. It is by default. There is the combination of number of physical address. Is physical addresses look like that. Okay, let's go deep into it. One where we started with the router. So there is the IP address. There's the four set of number we have. It is called IP address, and then who is provided? It is provided by router through the router, and then it is assigned. Suppose when IP address is coming from different on the network or from the internet, when request is coming, and then everybody has different number. Suppose this one is 2, this one is 3, this one is 4, and that is, you saw already here is not using anything is 1.1. 1 point, why they are not using, we'll come into later, but keep in mind they starting from 2. Okay, let's get deep into it. What is the NAT? NAT is a network address transition. It's the way the router translate the IP address that from is computer A 192.168.2 in the example above, they are sending, right? And then when the router passes that to the internet, it replaces the IP address with the internet IP address assigned by the ISP. So what happens is, what is from A sending some message. So definitely your message is going to be updated on the Facebook server, and then Facebook server they know which account you are sending to, whom you need to send, and then they are passing the message to the to that guy. But how it is communicated from your computer, it is going to the router, and router has the IP address assigned to you 192.168.1. But IP address who are provided by internet service provider, that is like our phone number, that is one number. They will not give you multiple number because when service provider they give you for mobile, they will not give you for multiple SIM card, because you are paying for that for one. If you need multiple, then you can pay for that. But in that case, we have a one router, and then one router pay for that, and then they already assign the IP address for. So IP address router is doing whatever local network we have from computer A 192.168.1.2, they got it, and then they reverse it, they forward it, they replace it with the IP address. Okay, I have this, I have a request, and then it is coming from this. This is the 72.132 or something like that. Then the last 2 digit we don't know. Definitely when service provider we are using, definitely as it should be. Let's deep into it again. And then when they talk each other, they are talking, and then they're changing the IP address. Then the connection got from internet to our router. So that is the then as a side effect. So a side effect is NAT is not the machine on the internet cannot initiate communication to local machine. They can only respond to communicate initiated by those local machine. The net effect is that the router then also act as a firewall. So what is go keep it now? A lot of keywords on your brain, and then just to go through one by one. Router we already knows it has a brain and it has a dynamic assignment. Sorry about the some noise. So here, network types. So we already knows what is the LAN network and then one network. What is the LAN network? LAN network is local area network. It's represent with local area network, a connection network device over a relative short distance. Suppose we are in the lab and then we are 8 people here doing the class, and then the network of his building, they're connecting through one machine to another machine through the cable. With the single port, we have every computer or every desktop has a LAN port that is connected with the cable. But we may have wireless network as well beside LAN. We can our laptop is connected with the one. What is the wireless? We know, but LAN network always connected with the cable. But why? What is one? One is wide area network. What is wide? Why is this broad? Geographically, it is little more. Suppose like campus, one campus to another campus, one building to another building. So definitely, when are connecting one building to another building, lot of network connection they need one LAN to connect to the another LAN. So that one, and is local area network. So suppose they have on one building to another building or one campus to another campus, they may have. And then MAN is metropolitan area network. That is mostly they are using service provider, not regular people they are using, because it is costly. Who are using, suppose like mobile network provider, any AT&T or Verizon. And also for the network also they have a different places, different tower for that to make more coverage wirelessly. SAN, what is SAN? SAN is storage area network, system area network, or server area network. A lot of people say a lot of way. Sometimes small area network. So it is also the name it could be a server area, it could be a small building, or it could be wide area, or with the wide area network. So those types of all LAN, WAN, WLAN, MAN, SAN, campus area network, or PAN network, it is types of network topology. Work at the office, LAN, so types of topology. What is the we already show the picture, but how it is. Suppose we have a cable, main cable is here, and then all the drop down we have a connection each other. That is the common cable is there, and then all are connected. They have an endpoint, right? Exact endpoint they have. Everybody. This is what is the feature? It transmits data only in one direction. Every device is connected to a single cable. What is the advantage? Is cost effective. Cable is least compared to other topology. Used small network, easy to understand, and expands joining two cables together. Disadvantage is cable. If one cable is failed, other will be you see here. If I connected from 1 to second, if it is disconnected, then third one also got disconnected. Suppose in the old days, when we go to the suppose we have if you are familiar with the subcontinent, or you are from Bangladesh, we already knows everybody has a dish antenna cable, right? And they are connecting through one cable to another cable. It is not direct connected from their service. It is home to home. They are expanding, right? If any connection is got broken, and then after that everybody got disconnected. So it is similar like that. So everything is one is got broken, and then every other one after that this is the main disadvantage. It is working as a nodes. nodes is a node, we can say, as a computer or workstation. Number of someone is wants to send some data last node to ring topology. We have passed through 99 nodes because route, it will route through all as a ring wise. That is the basically is very so advantage as unnecessary traffic. I'm sending to someone, but it is routing, it is going through. What is the disadvantage? It is adding or deleting, it is disturbing, because sometimes if one is failure, whole network got failed because the network. And then star topology is now right now we can say maybe 5 or 5, and then we are connecting, it got disconnected, disturb for them. To each other, it is connected through the hub. If hub is to, maybe there is a problem with connection with all. But if any nodes or any workstation has issue or problem or cabling problem or disconnection problem, other one will remain connected. Trying to, and but easy to troubleshoot. Disadvantage: it is easy to set it, and it is but disadvantage is cost installation is high, not that high, but why they are saying, because the hub was that time was expensive, routing or flooding. So mesh topology is routing. What is routing? We have those, and all nodes routing logic as per the network requirements. So how is configured? So it is it has no sound, but also with a when if you are not trying to use hub, then you, if you have a computer, then you have connection like that. So each computer is connected to each other through the cable. But simple is look like here. Suppose if you have 8 computers, then it's going to be a lot of cabling, and then it is difficult to troubleshooting. You will be lost, like which cable is going to where, and then you will be lost. And then if you have a more computer in the net office nowadays, is outdated. That is the 3M way. There is the connected through one to each other. Have multiple, it is called sometimes a binary. Binary. Here is showing 2. You can may have under the second one, you can may have 4 or 3, 5. But it is heavily cabled also. It's costly, and central hub failed, network is failed, and it's always pointing depending on the route. If route is failed, then right now topology merging. That's why they are called some advantage and disadvantage. Effective, flexible. So you see, there is this is the port. So you can also buy the port if you and then they have 45 connector, and then through the connector they are separating 8 cables. You see multiple colors is here. They have a pair, like here is orange, blue, magenta, and what is called is maybe chocolate color or somewhere. So they have 8 colors, and all are another one is white color. So they need a pair. Suppose one orange, one white, one blue, one white, one green, one white, one chocolate, and or magenta or burgundy whatever you see, and they have another white. So 4 white and 4 colors. That is the combination of cables through the cat. Cat is the cable types. Cat 5, cat 6, cat 7 is right now because the speed of data transfer rate. So cat is like a category how you transfer. Suppose you have a transfer rate is 100 megabyte. Cat 6 is 300 megabyte. Cat 7 is 700 megabyte. So per second. So that is the range. So that is the if anybody is saying, oh okay, which connector, maybe if you have a difficulties anything, your port is not working, you can email to your network manager, okay, my RJ45 connector is broke, and then he will know okay what you are talking about. That's why we need a sound knowledge when you send the mail, and then what is the connector. This is the connector. You are see there is the metal on the corner here, and then it is connected through the cable with the 8 cable. It is called RJ45 connector. And how it's working, with the here we are seeing category 6 if you are zooming, and then that one is category 5E, the blue one. So definitely category 6 is more speed, even though it look like same, but data transfer, suppose like if you are transferring some movie, big movie, if you are using basically the data you will see there is maybe 2 or 1.5. Goal is the every cable is always level it like that. Another one is port number. So when we work on, we need to know the port number, even though database, or when we work, suppose Oracle database, they are using by default 1521 database using, and then if you are using MySQL database, they have a default port number 3306, something like that. And then some other port they have, you cannot use it. What is the port? Let's get started. Suppose like we already knows in the physically, if we have a port, what is happens? Everything landed on that port, and then from the port it is distributed, right? So same thing, if you are using that port, that means it is going through that data through that channel. Suppose the physical way, we have a ocean on the port, on the in the airport has a port, right? Airport. So we are landing there, and then after that, which terminal is going to? It is depends on which airlines is going which terminal. Which terminal using is defined, because you cannot use another terminal if it is not defined. Where some rules is there on the port side, right? You cannot use any what is called any when plane is landing, it is, I forgot the name, runway, sorry. You cannot use runway, anyone. You need to contact with your control airport controller. They will assign you, oh, you need to use that time, and this is your destination, and then definitely it should be on time, otherwise another plane will come on behind to you. So that is the same logic they're using when are using internet connection. They have some port number. So port number always is starting from 0 to 65,500. Mentioning here, that is the range. But you cannot use it. We need to know. Suppose only the port number 0 to 1023 are reserved for privileged service. What is the privilege? We have FTP. FTP is data transfer. We know data transfer protocol. They are using 21, 20 and 22. Control protocol is 21. 20 is for data, and SSH is 22. What is SSH? We will know secure service. We will know, but first of all, just focus on which port is used. Which one I mention it as a orange color, then more familiar. Suppose like telnet, they're using 23. Simple mail transfer protocol, SMTP, that is 25. What is the use for? That one is previously, I am not sure, are you using Outlook? Nowadays nobody is using, everybody is using mail channel for Gmail. But when at the office we have an Outlook, but it is what? It is connected, but it is internal network. You cannot send maybe you can send, but you can receive also, but it is internal channel as well. Without any service provider, Outlook is for internal. Suppose from the office use, whatever is going on your project, definitely you are not sending to the Gmail. They using Outlook. So Outlook is using the HTTP protocol, and then they are assigned to 25 port. All Outlook. I am not maybe previously a long time ago we used Udura. Udura was the service free email using for that, but nowadays they are not using anymore. Everybody has Yahoo and Gmail normally use, but at office, all office are they're using Outlook service. So they are using 25, and with the domain name service, this is 53. That, so why? Because HTTP protocol, the HTTP service, suppose everywhere, every web page has HTTP. Without HTTP, you cannot put on the internet, any internet going through that. So that time when they are putting, they are using the service on the server side. Suppose our application, when they deploy it in the production, and then production will use for external user, right? They will use HTTP www.xyzcompany.com. And then that time they will HTTP protocol, and then the server definitely they need to use 8080 port. If they are not using 8080 port, then service will not work, because it is predefined like that. POP3 is for service, and network group and NNTP. This is 19. NetBIOS is very old right now, but also some old device it is integrated on the Windows. You can see those. There is 7 port, and then SQL Server 156, SMMP 161. All saying you need to memorize all those things, but at least you have a sound knowledge using this. Mostly I will recommend it to you, go through the orange one. Suppose you see is 80 port, but HTTPS, which one is secured, they are using different port. So even though Apple QuickTime, they are using 450 what is port number 161? SNMP. Also, for use for that, and this is the range of you need to memorize. Like when you assigned for your network, you cannot use those range. Suppose well-known port is range 0 to 23, and then registered port are 124 through this, and dynamic port is from 49,152 to 65,000 all the way down. So those are, if you need more information, you can go through the internet, and then about the port number they will give you. But as a tester, you may not to need to, but at least you have a working what when you're working on why we are doing. Suppose we have a URL, and then we have a qa xyz.com, and colon we have 1080. That is our QA environment for first quarter. But second quarter you may have 2080. This is the second quarter port, and then third quarter port 3080. This is defined by network people. So you are testing something on your third quarter, and then somehow the defect is came, and then it is old, and on the regression you find out some defect, and then your manager will say, can you try the old quarter, suppose like which one is 2080. Try it, because it should come on the 2080 as well, because we don't know, because we did not touch any code changes why it is failing on the third quarter. Definitely it should fail also second quarter as well. Let's do that. So that's time they're using the port number to keeping the same environment with different server, and then server will communicate with the different port. don't get irritated, but is your and then this SSH or FTP is TCP. You'll see SMTP or so let's go to through move forward. Another one is what is DNS. So DNS is dynamic name domain name service. Sorry, domain name service. Okay. So what is name? Everybody has the idea on phone book, right? Phone book has a number, and then we are using the name because our memory is like that. The way such a way designed, we are more easy to memorize the name, not the number. The old days you can do that, but without right now phone book is easy. Suppose if you have a 100 people, and then you can write down the name, and then when you click the name, actually it is dialing the number because phone knows only number. Or other service as well, but number should be equal. So same way same thing phone book we have, and then phone book when we pick the name, and then when we dial, and then it actually convert to the number, and can you say as I can tell you that is like that. A lot of people business. That is the uh, um, IP address we already know there is the IP4 and IP6. So IP, and then there we can make it through 192.168.1.2, and then so on, and then up to 255 168.2. Starting one, so that's going to be the second change, like that. So almost you can, if you have a more something like that, so that permutation combination you need. So all the way the today is almost all IP addresses assigned. They have some but it will be by 2020 they said it is going to be all used. So that's why now they started with the IP6 version. What is the IP6 version? They have a alphanumeric number, and then all have 8 bits, and then it's separated by colon, not the dot, and then they have a alphanumeric number. Alphanumeric hexadecimal, actually hexadecimal number. Hexadecimal we already know, 0 to 9 through A to F. That cannot be it will be couple of terabyte or petabyte. So that device is going to be ultimately they are saying it is infinite, maybe for 100 years or more than that. So dynamic host protocol we already defined previously. We saw it. What is the dynamic host protocol? That IP address is dynamically changing or assigned it. That is dynamic host protocol it is doing. So suppose we are assigned to this, and then when we turn off and turn on, the new IP address will assigned by router. So it is called dynamic. The host is our computer. It's configured. Did you see host name? If you go through your machine, and then if you see here any times, and then if you are writing host name, and then you will get it your host name. My host name is my here say to you hey Russell, I need to install my machine, can you tell me your host name? And then how you find out? So you need to go through the start button or go to the computer, but easily you can write down CMD on your command prompt. You can write down CMD, and then command prompt will pop up, and then immediately you are writing host name, and then it will give you the host name, and then you can ping him, okay, this is my host name. Then by host name he can connect. He will ask you what is your IP address, and then that time you can put IP config and then find out your IP address, which one is in your using in your LAN card or your one card. You can ask him which one they need. You can provide him as well as requested. You can provide him. Those you need to get familiar. So you are going is using on your machine. And then that one is mostly type net state. A is common for find out the all port is using on your machine. Sometimes you may not keep into it, but all list using which is down, and then which port is they need to block, which port they need to open, use for that the things. But most important is DNS server. So suppose like the URL you already says google.com, into there we already saw it, right? Then how you find out? The command is ns lookup, give you the IP address you are looking. So check what is the use for it. Suppose and then you are using www.facebook.com, and then when you enter it, and then it has a server is open rg, right? openrg.home. So it's give us actually what is the route, what is the address. This is their address, this is their IP address. This it is saying alias. What is the alias? It is the name. Actually, there's when you are writing www.facebook.com and then you are connect, then your browser will send the request to this IP address. And then this is the IP version 6. This is the IP version on the top, and this is the highlighted white one is IP version 4. So that one is from my local machine, my service provider. They are sending the request from here to there. So that way you can find out, oh, what is the route. Same thing is like that. Google, because that's why Google is fast as well for searching, because same server it should not be shareable. Suppose Asian people, they are searching something, and then it is used for convert IP address to the corresponding physical address. They already know. Suppose like you are hacking something, and then how they knows, how they find out it is coming from your computer, because dynamic host protocol will assign to you dynamically. Go to the another network or private network, or maybe a public network, that will assign to you different IP address. But how they change it, your MAC address could not be changed forever. Whatever MAC address on your NIC card, it is point that IP address. So it should be always unique. Forever, because manufacturing company is the IP address, we put it here. The IP address, how it is working. What is the IP is stand for internal, and 2 to the power 2 is 2 into 2. That means 4. 2 to the power 3 we know 2 into 2, and then this is 8, and 2 to the power up going on, then is going to be 16, going to be 32, 6. So that is called 8-bit. That's why up to 8-bit we can maximum assign 255 to 0. In computer science, array and a lot of things, they are starting from 0. 4 types of digit, right? Dot 168, 192, 11, and something like that. So that is the way it is. Just you have a sound knowledge. And then what is the NIC card? NIC card is network interface. That is the it has a port, and the port is assigned to the MAC address. So that way we have it here. Make it space here. IP configs. We will share with you this one. Go through again. And then what is 6? Actually, it is saying that it is shown hexadecimal number separated by colon. So this is the 6 number, 6 set of number separated by colon. Here it is showing semicolon is fine. Also here you see MAC address is showing dash. It's okay. On the CMD you can put IP config, and then they will give you physical address. This network model, how it is transfer the message to each other, sender to receive. So we have application, we have a presentation, and we have a session, and then how it is working. Suppose I am sending some message and organized because size. So they are sending, suppose and then if it is a 50 megabyte, the 50 megabyte is download not at a time, it is downloading kilobyte, then 1 megabyte, 2, it is increasing one by one, and then they are pointing to everything in the same file, then not split it, but when they sending they split. And then how they knows it is chain system, one data to another data, because of you already knows like how they rearrange. When they send it, they need to rearrange as well, so they need to put something with the data, one packet to another packet. Oh, this is the packet 1, this is packet 2, packet 3, and then when they arrange it, then they know how to put organized. Otherwise, data is going to be corrupted. So that is the OSI model. We don't know, we don't see, but who are created, who they knows. This is the software does. Network engineer they are developed this, and then we have a just sound knowledge we have. Then what is the use for physical? What is the physical? Physical is what is the port we use, Ethernet or USB port we use, and then data also we are sending through that. There is a lot of thing is the session or the model is working on it. You see here the first one is working for hub and repeater, second layer data layer is working switch or bridge, and the network layer using router. Also that's the way it is, and they're sending request and then send out. So first three all the bottom, first three is hardware layer because it is hardware device, physical device, and then transfer layer it is a software also, heart of OSI, and it is communication to hardware to software. So what is the software layer? Software is layer is session layer, presentation layer, and application layer. And then it has some, suppose like that example is Apple Talk or session layer, or maybe something you are login and then they have a session, and then the data should be session wise, should be active. And then presentation is like what types of data, is a JPEG, movie, or whatever. This is the, and then this is the protocol, whatever protocol we use. Suppose if you are using mail channel, this then it is SMTP. If we are using web page, then HTTP protocol. If you are using network connection through suppose Windows machine to Linux machine, or Windows machine to Mac machine, then FTP protocol they need to use. So they will automatically define which protocol used to which based on the connection type. All are coming through the algorithm. How they design, they are all are coming through the together. The algorithm is designed for that. This already done, you don't need to go through, just little bit network. Oh, okay, you how network is, you have knowledge. So links and network. Ethernet is a data link protocol as known as level 2 protocol. We all data level. Yes. So and then OSI and TCP network model. When we are connected, I already described. Is very common. They're using TCP/IP. Sometimes they are using what is the network protocol used? They are using TCP/IP protocol. So if you are going on control panel, and then when you go to the you have network as well, right? Suppose network and share, and then when we are going through the properties, suppose if you are using database, what's going on? Suppose okay, this is your see, did you see here the on the properties, networking properties, I have a network card, the name is there, and then if I need to install or reinstall my driver here, and then use here lot of topology here, link layer topology, TCP/IP6, TCP/IP4, all are checked. If you uncheck, then it's not gonna work. So this is all are coming through by Microsoft operating system. They are integrated, and then they knows when you refresh using one operating system you install, maybe you may need to install separately your driver, network driver. Otherwise, your connection could not be established. So that time it will go through the updated those fields, because Windows are not recognized first time, but now most of the operating system is very common, intelligent, and they are taking the driver from that. Anyhow, the old days, 97 or 98, Windows 98 or Windows 2000, we remember like we need to install it separately. Anyhow, that is the way you can find out. And then here you see connection is there, and receiving data also provided. Now go, this is also the MAC address that can if using this, then what happens is that you cannot use this is for broadcast. This is for broadcast. Why it is broadcast? You may aware of that. Definitely sometimes, you know, there is the previously, maybe last month, there is message was coming from it is saying from President Trump, and then every mobile got notification, right? Right, there was a message was there, right? So how each and every computer, not computer, every mobile network, mobile device got message. How? Because of the MAC address they use for broadcast. If they use FFFFFF, this is common, because this MAC address is reserved. That MAC address is reserved because it is manufacturing company, they knows MAC address is there, but that is for reserved for FFF. That means all will cover under one umbrella. That means it is common for all, everybody, every device coming with the under this MAC address. This is the highest one. Why F is highest one? Because hexadecimal F is the, I already told you, A to F, right? F is the highest point. So this is the position of 16, right? So that's why when they use this, and then they allow, even though if you have a permission, maybe definitely not. And then if you are using, if you are allowed to, and then if you're sending message, each and everybody will get that notification. Oh, I'm Russell. Messed up, right? I don't want to. So like that. So we know a lot of things, but we are not aware of that. But it is for broadcasting only, broadcast address. And then they are just putting here. I just write down 7 OSI level. And working on the network engineer, they have a lot of question with that 7 layer. They need to deeply knowledge to get informed OSI model, how it is. Right now we need to care about how it is sending the data. Suppose we have a data, we have a header. Now do you know, previously we have a postcard, right? The postcard has the no information is covered, right? We are using a stamp and then them, everybody can read it. But after that it got envelope came in. After the envelope we put it there and then put the stamp on it, and then the whatever the letter you have, it is secured, you cannot see. Something is registered, something is not, it depends on, right? But same way, when you send the data, they are actually sent data, plus they are adding the header. They put the envelope on it, because data could be, or data could be stolen from third party, right? So that's when header has information which data is this, and then they have a lot of number, they have a sequence number, and then when they arrange it, it is reorganized again. Did you see here the actual letter is there, is your your envelope, and you can think, but it's physically we are saying, but it is by software. TCP protocol will handle TCP IP model, IP model, and model. So first 3 is application layer, presentation session layer. This is application layer. Last three is physical device layer or network layer, and then middle one is transport layer. You will give multiple envelope for more secure. Suppose like nowadays Amazon also doing same thing. In their box, maybe they have a small item, but they are using big box. Or even though if you have a big box, they are using also same types. So it is why they are using randomly, because customer don't know what is the valuable for that. So, or in the security purpose, they may use multiple. Okay, the IP we already know IP address. What is the lowest one? All are 00000. And then when it is working for, and then get the IP address, then some client will auto assign to IP address. Right? DHCP for reserve range. This is the reserve range. You cannot use it. This somehow internet service provider or www, they are organization, they are handling those IP address. They own that. Then after that, all local network, they are starting from 92, and then second one is 68. We already saw it. It's most common. It's basic. Not, you will see like this combination. It's only IP address you can find out any book name starting with 160. Not using one. This is the default gateway. What is the default gateway? Default gateway is, suppose if you have a 10 computer at your home, and then different room, right? But you have a one connection that is reserved. If you cut, then all room going to be disconnected with the electricity. Thing there, this channel, the default gateway, whatever IP address you have, all machines, they don't care. Even though if anything going through the internet, that channel should be open. And then this is the gateway. The gateway is port number 1, not port number, is IP address. That is static because the subnet mask is defined. Why you cannot make it in that case? And once if you using, then service provider will tell you we cannot allow, because that is you are not paying for that. If you need, then you need to pay for that. But why you need it? Because for home user who are using more than 250, it's very less. At least we can use it for, but for office, think about if you have a big office. If you have a, I work on Comcast, and then they have a big building, and then they may have a couple of thousand computer. They noisy somehow. Okay, sorry. So they cannot fix it. First 3 digit is fixed. That the subnet mask is defined. How many digit is fixed? 255 is defined. First portion is fixed. You cannot modify. If you have 3 portion A, B, C, then you are think about like, oh, okay, that one is you can modify only the last digit. This is the mask, how it is coming. 255, that is the useful. There's a 11111. How it is coming 11. This is the binary to binary number to digital number they convert, and 0 is become always 0. I'll to go through again. You need to read it, and then you how it is. It is more technical, I know, but when you go through, it is not like a suppose like when who are reading computer science, definitely they need to go through first time too. On you don't need any prerequisite, any knowledge. Just this is you can start from scratch. Easily you can understand. This is not like a core thing. Oh, you need to the semester. So like you see here, this is the range. This is and then it must be not change it. And then this is the second set. This is the third set, and then this is the fourth. If you have a 4 network, you can may use it like that, divided, and remember it again. Oh, okay, this is we can use it. But default gateway, you can take default gateway. PC you can go through. One thing is common is proxy server or firewall. What is the proxy server and firewall? You can very commonly you can hear, suppose like on the meeting they will say, oh, this is the proxy server issue or the firewall issue, and this is not a bug, this is networking issue. Firewall prevent this, but what is the firewall? How it is? This is the likes of proxy server, but how it is work, let's deep into it. Sometimes they will talk about firewall is very common. So broadly speaking, a computer firewall is a program that prevents unauthorized access to the or from private network. And then firewall, suppose like definitely if you have a laptop, right, they will give you what? They'll give you hard token, and it could be soft token. It is called hard token. Is like a memory chip. Every 30 seconds 6-digit number changed. So what happens is, if remotely you try to log in your machine, and then when you log in, and then what happens is, when you connect, and then you need to put your password plus the token number. Firewall server knows that number randomly what, and then when you connect, it is authorized. It is getting authorized. If you put expired number, the old number, then network should not be established, because firewall will prevent you for unauthorized access in your office as well. When you work from home, you will face it from your laptop. So we will show you like there is another I'll show you, but just after I'll show you how to connect from local machine to server. I have installed. Give me a couple of last. So firewall is I already told prevent unauthorized access, right? So from private network, because global, because it is not like a Facebook or something. It's like every code you cannot be put somewhere. You need they have a private network. Every office it should be. So firewall are tools that can be used and enhance the security computer connected to a network. Comprehensive security framework to the network. A firewall absolutely isolate your computer from the internet. Your private network, maybe you may not connecting through the internet. They are preventing to you. Some lot of times they don't even you cannot Google. So they are a firewall absolutely wall of code, right? Individual packet it arrives, then a firewall inbound and outbound of the computer determine allow or not. They are scanning every single packet. What is the packet? Packet is the set of data, and what is the data? Data is coming through the header and actual data, right? So like you may have multiple firewall as well. Suppose you have firewall for one communication, one network, and then another network you have a switch box is here on the based on the picture, and then you can communication through one firewall to another firewall, and then they have a router. Then router will define where the package coming from, then connecting through the internet. So for routing, they are putting the firewall. What does the firewall do? Basically, they do defense resource, validate access, manage and control network traffic, record and report on event. You will heard that. And then software system running on a computer that act as an intermediate between endpoint device such as computer which are user is using or client request service. Proxy server may exit the same machine as a firewall server. It may contain the same or separate. It depends on and then depends on the budget as well. Advantage is proxy server is its cache can serve all user. The one or only requested, and then proxy cache will improve with the response. A proxy can log into the interact, which is helpful for traffic. So what is the cache? Cache is the www.yahoo.com or any other things from the any other blogs. What is going through? It is download from the server on our computer on maybe 10 you. And then what is the page? Page is all our code of HTML code, and then they are compile it. Browser we need it, right? That's why browser knows HTML code how to compile. And the proxy server can be used legal and illegal purpose, because a lot of hackers they use proxy server to hide their actual process. They can use it among all other purpose. They can use it things. So basically, I wanted to show you here like how we can go through with one machine. This is important, I believe. Suppose here we have a server. Let's get started. I have VM machine installed on my computer, and then let's get started. And then another one, I may open this Windows 7. You just make it okay. I know it is going to be small because of my laptop is like 4K, so that's why the resolution issue. You will see it, but definitely give me a couple of times. I'm running. I'll show you here like from your local machine or host machine. I will give a host name or IP address with the port number, and then I will tell you, okay, connect through the server, and then how you can connect from your local laptop or from your local machine to. Why it is not Windows 7 is here, and then just change here as it is. One second. Come on. I had multiple monitor. Let's use this is serial port. HDMI cable. It's okay. Need to log in. So it is because definitely just give me 1 second. How can I connect my server? My server is running ups and down. Showing, but somehow HDMI cable. Just give me minutes because I wanted to connect with my Windows Server 2012 on my VM machine, and here Windows 7 we have as a VM machine, but somehow because I moved it my VM machine to server on my VM machine. I'm not sure why is the cable. Give me 1 second, guys. Okay. ওটার মধ্যে আছে এটাই। So we can do one. Not coming as a mostly laptop দিয়ে মধ্যে থাকে they have mostly they have a disease. Okay, maybe they have it. Not sure. Okay. So let's think. So that's why I can show you. Definitely, I'll show you on work and serve your host machine, and then that's all. So today I will end up today as now, and then we'll continue on Sunday. And then Sangam will continue take the class on. You know aware of that. Like our class is on Tuesday and Thursday night time, and then on weekend on the morning time. So Asad Bhai will coordinate with you, and then will inform half an hour, 50 minutes before class started. Just keep eye on it, and then keep study. I will share with you my network tutors. Just go one time, and then let me know if. Thank you so much.